AITA for telling my husband he's being a bad father? I am not the original poster. That is you, previous Farm 1336. She posted in r, am I the asshole? Trigger warning. Child favoritism. Less than. Mood spoiler. Stepmom of the year for this Mother's Day. Hopeful ending. Less than. Original post. May 6, 2023. I 30 female am married to my husband Jack 37 male for 3 years. We have a daughter together Hannah 3 and my stepdaughter Ashley. His daughter from a precious relationship is 10. Hannah started dance classes this year. This is her first year performing at a recital and we were all very excited. We had tickets for all 3 shows. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and couldn't wait to watch her perform. Ashley found out earlier this week she'd be performing for her school chorus. The girl who originally was going to do it got sick. Ashley's performance was Sunday at the same time as Hannah's dance recital that night. Ashley told me how it would mean a lot to her if we went. So I worked it out with the dance school that Hannah would go the recital that night with my parents and Jack and I would go watch Ashley's performance. I would have pulled Hannah from dance but I was afraid she would want to sing during Ashley's performance and Ashley should be able to have her own moment. When I told my husband he was so upset. He said he wanted to be there for all of Hannah's performances and we shouldn't be pawning her off on my parents. I said my parents were going to the show anyway and her best friend's mom will help her with the costume. I helped her daughter the day prior. He said I was crazy if I thought sending our 3-year-old without us was a good idea. She's stayed with her grandparents and gone to do things with them before. I told him he was being stupid and that Ashley needed her dad too. He refused to go and went with Hannah and told me to meet him at the dance recital. I went to Ashley's performance instead. While I was there I was saying hello to Ashley's mother and ended up finding out Jack never answered her about if he could bring her new black shoes. Ashley didn't realize until today the ones at her mom's house were too small. Doesn't wear them often. And I didn't want her to feel different from the other kids. Luckily I got there early and there's a shoe store down the street so I went to buy some and told her mom to keep them there so she has a pair at both houses now. When I went home my husband and I got into a huge argument. He said I let down Hannah and she was sad. I told him to keep in mind she's 3 she always wants us and then forgets about it in 5 minutes when she sees something else she wants. I told him he needs to remember we have another child to also think about not just Hannah. I told him he was an awful father for not showing up for Ashley and for not even mentioning she needed shoes. Even if he wasn't going the least he could do was bring her the shoes. Him and I are still arguing and he's sleeping on the couch. He won't even talk to me and honestly I don't want to talk to him either. I feel like I might have crossed the line calling him a bad father. I was really angry. AITA? Edit 1. I just realized I didn't say why the shoes were mentioned. He asked me what that charge was for and when I told him he was mad I bought shoes for her mother's house. He said he pays enough in child support and buy her things for our house so it's ridiculous. Relevant comments. He says it's because Hannah is little and doesn't want to miss her firsts, but I try to remind him Ashley is still having firsts too. This was the first time she sang in front of a crowd. Does the prioritizing of Hannah over Ashley happen often? Honestly, the girls have never had conflicting events before. But once in a while if they're arguing and Hannah cries to get her way, he'll take Hannah's side. If Hannah's being dramatic or tired I will pull him aside and we'll talk. I don't think Hannah should get her way just because she's the baby. She needs to learn compromise too. It's a valuable skill in life and needs to learn when no just means no. He was an active father before he met me. That's why I was surprised when he started acting this way about bio mom's relationship. Her mom and I have become good friends over the years. Her and I went to dinner alone before I met Ashley when she was 4 and realized we had a lot in common. I always respect her as her bio mom and love Ashley the same as my own. Does your husband not do any co-parenting? Is it all up to you? No, anything to do with actual co-parenting they handle together, and I'm there for support, or if they want an opinion. I in no way take over the parent role, but I do love her as if she were my own. It's a balancing act. Her mom and I do have a great relationship though. And even though I've been in her life for 6 years, I still ask her mom before answering certain questions or doing certain things out of respect. For example, she asked me about periods one time, so I told Ashley that I loved she was comfortable enough to ask me, but I think we should also include her mom into the conversation, and Ashley was happy with that response. Her mom asked if I'd be present for the conversation so that both houses were on the same page, especially with what products she'd use. Another example is when I got Hannah's ears pierced. Ashley also wanted hers done, so I called her mom and not just do it, even though my husband said he didn't mind. He's her father, but she's also her mother and should have an equal say. Edit 2. Same post. May 7th, 2023. Next day. This morning Jack and I took the girls out for breakfast. During breakfast, Jack was telling Ashley about Hannah dance recitals. Ashley wasn't able to make the recitals because she had practice for chorus the other 2 nights. Ashley asked if that's why he missed her singing, and Jack said yes. Ashley said her mom recorded it and maybe we could all watch it together one night so he could see. Jack made a comment about her mother. I didn't hear exactly what he said, but by Ashley's reaction and his face I could tell it wasn't kind. Ashley then went to the bathroom and I told him to cut the comments and that it wasn't necessary. I went to check on Ashley and she was crying. So I texted Jack and told him I was taking both the girls out for the day until he could figure out an apology to Ashley. I told him the same way he wouldn't want someone talking about him or I to Hannah, he shouldn't be doing that to Ashley's mother. He could either get therapy and apologize to his daughter, or I'd be going to my parents when I get home after taking the girls out. When I got the girls in my car, I called Ashley's mom and picked her up. The 4 of us will be at the amusement park today. Jack has been texting me apologizing all morning. I've already told him I'm not the person he needs to apologize to. Update. Same post. May 8th, 2023. 2 days from AUG post. Ashley decided she wanted to stay at her mom's house last night, which I totally understood. Her mom also kept Hannah overnight for me so that Jack and I could talk about what happened with Ashley without either of the girls overhearing anything. I showed my husband this post and he cried reading through everyone's responses. He's opened his eyes to seeing that the favoritism is obvious to not only the girls but to everyone else. We talked about therapy and he's agreed to go. We found a place that will actually do a family therapy where Jack, myself, and Ashley's mom can have sessions together. Ashley's mom also thinks it's a great idea. And we can have the girls go as well, but individually with just them and the therapist to talk. Blended families aren't always easy to navigate, and we want both the girls to also receive the benefits of having someone outside the family unit to confide in. This morning my husband decided he wanted to call Ashley to apologize. I told him it really should be done in person to seem genuine, and he should call her first and be prepared if she's not ready to talk to him yet, and if she doesn't want to accept his apology at this time. This way Ashley can decide when she's ready to speak to someone who's hurt her feelings. Once Ashley is out of school, he will call her and see if she'd like to hear his apology. If she does and accepts his apology, we'll be watching her performance recording. Jack is also going to be apologizing to her mom for the comment that was made and ask if she'd like to do more family outings or dinners with us. He thinks it'll be good for Ashley to also see them getting along, which I think is a great idea. What the hell is wrong with that dude? Like, holy heck. Whoa. This is the kind of amazing step-parent relationship that I've heard exists but rarely seen. Kind, loving, respectful of boundaries, standing up for her kids equally. Am I in the right sub-lol? It's one thing when parents forget about their first kid because of their new marriage when the step-parent is encouraging it. Still horrible, but at least there's some kind of thought process. But I truly don't understand how you could treat your daughter like this when even your spouse who has no blood relation to them doesn't. 2 out of 3 adults being sensible and good parents is a good start. Hopefully the third will pull his head out of his butt pretty quick and give Ashley 3 great parents. And Hannah a solid and happy foundation too. Dude landed the most amazing wife and step-parent for his daughter and is committed to burning all his relationships to the ground. It's insane how many posts I've seen where people realized their mistakes because strangers on Reddit bashed them, yet didn't care when their loved ones told them the exact same things. This man is driving a wedge between his daughters and he's not even aware of it. He better get that therapy and change. Or his oldest is gonna end up going NC with him once she reaches adulthood. Gee, I wonder why Jack's first marriage fell apart. She said in the first post they had tickets for all 3 of the little ones' shows. So he had already seen her perform twice. And he still pitched a fit about it. This is a great example of how to be a fantastic stepmother. Good for her. Shame her husband is such a turd though. I almost cried too reading this post. My stepmother was so abusive to me starting when I was just 4, and she even tortured my mother, giving her taunting phone calls while she was still my father's affair partner. Her evil has affected my whole life. And my dad didn't care about my well-being at all. It's so good to see a good step-parent and people who actually want to and work to prioritize their kids' wellness, happiness and security. Jack might have made a mistake, but he's made a huge step by owning it and working to rectify it. I just so wish everyone who had a step-parent could have one like Op. Jack seems like a complete ass. Oop seems pretty thoughtful, so I wonder if she missed his dickishness from the jump, or if something came up recently that changed him. I feel bad for Oop having to look after 3 kids with the help of Biomom. Hope they stay together because he'll definitely treat Hannah the same way if they divorce. But can we talk about the relationship between Oop and Biomom? It's beautiful to read about. She should ditch the man and marry Biomom. This is so awful. This woman is essentially parenting her husband at this stage. What is wrong with this man? I'd like to know what comment Jack made about Ashley's mom. Some things can be forgiven and forgotten. Some things you can't come back from. Depending on which one it was will determine the rest of Jack's relationship with Ashley. Love how dude kept throwing apologies at Oop like spaghetti, hoping it would stick, without paying attention to what she was actually saying. This guy is an asshole. This man gives me the ick. But I'd love Op as a stepmother to my girls. What an amazing, supportive, and mature person. Oop and the ex-wife should just get together instead. Looks like they have things handled anyway. I wonder if he's the type of parent that only likes little kids and has no patience when they have their own thoughts and opinions. Or is he the kind of dude who only cares about the child of the woman he's currently sleeping with? Or is it old-fashioned misogyny? Why are men dump Jack and have the mom and stepmom get together? But in all seriousness, Jack sucks, and I hope therapy helps with us parenting. Because by just reading this, Hannah will become a menace if she always gets her way.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.